recognize your worth. Do not subscribe to inflation. You don't need it. All right, you learn the skill. I'm gonna come here. You're gonna do my massage, and then she's going to we barter. Take it from me. Hi, good morning once again. Now, this morning I see it important to talk about a particular topic that God has been teaching me, and more and more when I have conversations with people, I realize that people really need to start doing this. And so we'll be talking about living with less. Yeah, living with less, finding contentment in what you already have. Now I have my little book here. I think you guys remember this book from the last video. And so what I do, I have a journal by itself that I write down life lessons and testimonies. Yes, I have a lot of those journals, but I have life lessons and testimonies. So it's not just yes, I'd have like testimonies in one particular journal, but I'll put like a summary version of the testimony, and I'll put the lesson that I would have learned in that journal. And so this, I have like a list of things that God has been teaching me, and these are things that I have been learning over the years. And so I'm going to talk about them. So living less. Lately God has been calling me to live with less, live live with less. You know, we know live in a world that teaches us that we should want more, do more, pursue more, but what about just enjoying what you have right now? And so I'm going to focus mainly on the stewardship part of it, more so financial, because God has been teaching me that a lot. And so the first thing that I want to share is that when it comes on to the financial part of it, do not subscribe to inflation. Do not subscribe to inflation. You know, as soon as somebody gets a promotion and their salary would have increased, or the increment part of it, where each year you get a little top up on your salary, people add on something new to their budget. And the reality is we should be able to stick with what we have. A lot of times, the moment somebody gets a new job, they'll be like, okay, I'm going to buy a new car. You used to go to the hairdresser that charged $2,500 to comb your hair, the same twist. But now you find yourself at a hairdresser that do the same hair for $6,000. Because maybe the environment is a bit cleaner, or you want more comfort and all of that. And I'm not saying that if you have it, you go for it, but sometimes we don't have it, and that's the issue. We think that just because something extra would have come into our account, we need to spend it. We need to be good stewards of the money that God have given us. So we don't need to subscribe to inflation. Don't let anybody fool you that, oh, you need to get a new phone, go up for the new iPhone now, or go up for the new Samsung that came with already. No. If your phone is very functional, if your car is very functional, it's carrying you from point A to point B, there's no issue with it, work with it. You don't need to get a new car. You don't need to get a new phone. You don't need to change your hairdresser just because you have money now, can afford the next or the more expensive one. No. That was the first lesson I actually learned. Now, I realize when it is that I think I'm going to do a separate video about when it comes on to shopping, how you can cut down on your budget. I'm going to talk about that another time. Now, I have a good friend of mine, Candice Garden. She is an author, and she shared in her book about the fear of missing out. Many of us, we just always want to be included. We want to be in the know. We want to, anywhere the panic, I am out on my eyelash. No, it's okay to say no. And God has been teaching me to say no. And I learned that more so when I was working to pay off my student loan. God is saying, Ellen, you don't need to go there. You don't need to go there. I know what made me feel bad. Come and say, oh, I like to go there to celebrate my friend's birthday with her. And guys saying, Ellen, no, you don't need to go. Not because, yes, you like to go this place, you've always had it on your bucket list. That bucket list don't kill you all away. Sometimes bucket list though don't make you lick the bucket, kick the bucket before it reach time. Because we always want to be in everything. It's okay to just step apart. It's okay to just not show your presence. Your presence sometimes, I'm gonna say this, not everywhere you need to go. Sometimes you have to allow people to miss your presence. Sometimes you just have to step away for a while and don't be present. It's okay. Sometimes we have to allow or ourselves to be missed. Because sometimes when you're in an environment and people see you so often, they take you for granted. Until you are gone for a little bit or step away for a little bit, people then recognize your worth. And I think more so than anybody else, you should recognize your worth too, or firstly. I have been learning that when it comes on to living with less, I have to live like I'm earning less. Set up a system in which you know that you can consistently save without you going into it. Many of us, we struggle to do that, and sometimes we think that, oh, we have to make large amount of money in order to do that. No, that's not the case. The principle when it comes out to stewardship is being faithful with the little that you have. So practicing with the little that you have is what allows you to get to the place where God can bless you with more. When I just started working, I wasn't making a lot of money. And I said, God, more. At first, I was like, my prayer, I said, God, more a nice job and make me make this amount of money so I can buy nice fruits and vegetables so I can eat healthy. And I said, I got a job that paid very little. And I think it was 70,000 I was making. This is right fresh out of university, by the way. 70 or 75,000. I was being paid that. I mean, I said, God, we go live on this. I have rent for pay and la 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 la. And God said, you just have to be faithful with the little that I have given you. And faithfully, I just take my time. I'm gonna say, all right, this is for fruits, and green grocery is separate. So I have the market money, but fruit is separate. Come here, I say, me don't want to forget it. Me don't want to forget the fruits and vegetables because, oh yeah. And I chose things which I could afford, but the healthier version of it. And what I realized, if you're waiting to make that money so you can buy the healthier version, you're not gonna get there. You have to start right now. And this leads me to the next point, is that if you can do it yourself, do it yourself. If you can do it yourself, do it yourself. Sometimes we think that we have to purchase this. No, you don't have to. Because even with milk, I used to purchase almond milk. I started making my own almond milk. There are so many things that I used to buy. I don't do it myself. There are so many things. My hair, I take my time and twist my hair. Because I say, I'm trying to cut down on the cost to go and wash my hair and to get it combed. I just started doing it myself. So whatever you need to do, and if you come together with your friends, I'm like, all right, you learn this skill. You're going to learn to wax. You are going to learn how to comb hair. You're going to learn how to do massage and facials. We barter. So I'm gonna comb your hair. You're gonna do my massage, and then she's going to do, your waxing. Barter the skills that you have. Find those friends that want to do it and do it. You don't need to go elsewhere unless you want to go and pamper yourself a little bit and fully submerge into the spa experience. But apart from that, for regular maintenance, just need to find people in your community that you can do these things with. So do it yourself if you can do it. Another thing is that find single item things that has multiple purposes. I say this because a part of inflation is that we think that we have to have a particular product to fulfill a particular demand. When you find people who sell cars, they'll tell you, oh, you have to use this particular soap for this. I understand the whole science behind it. But even like plates, you have dishwashing liquid, you have OxyClean and all that. I used to purchase all these things. or get a little Febreze because it help the air to get to smell fresh. Buy this for the toilet. Buy this separate for the dishwashing, separate from hand soap, separate from there is just a laundry, like all these things. Find something that has multiple purposes. So what I do, I'll buy the dishwashing liquid, and when I buy it, I just mix it. I'll do a little concoction, so I can also use it for different purposes as well. It's a case where in that time I am trying to purchase something else, I need to cut back on this monthly bill, just buy a fab. I just buy a fab, and that fab is going to use to wash your clothes and to also wash your plates. You go use to also clean the floor, because you have to find something that can be used for multiple purposes. With this, we just think, because some of us are cultured to do these things because we grew up in a particular environment in which teaches us that, oh, this is what you do. But when it is that you're trying to live with less, because many people, they live with less for different reasons. They want to live with less because they want to remove certain attachment from certain worldly things. Some people want to live with less because they're trying to get out of debt. There's some people who live with less because they want to be more content with what they have, and some because they just want to be a good steward of the gifts that God have given them. And so if you can find one single item that has multiple use, perfecto, do that. All right. There's a good friend of mine, Desana. Yeah, she said to me that if you are looking to purchase something, make a big purchase, and that purchase would require you to probably take out a loan. If you can't save that consistently, I'm not talking about regular savings, no. I'm talking about putting away that amount that you'll have to put away for the loan. If you can't do that consistently and without strain for 6 months, you are not ready for that loan. Sometimes we just take it and we don't know how the money will come out. I know the funny thing, the bank don't mind that, because they have something that you have that they'll be able to take away from you. We should be wise. We should not be ready to get in debt and all those things just so. If you can do without it, do without it. If you realize that you have a certain spending habit in which you always buy things, those little things, because the little things are what add up, yeah. The little things, hey, them add up. The little things, them little knick-knack, them. You say, I'm gonna buy this little nice nail clip. Oh, I'm gonna buy this little lip gloss. Them add up. So if you realize that this is something that you do, and it's robbing you, and matter of fact, the only way you realize that it's robbing you is when you have a transaction sheet. When you have your budget, also have a transaction sheet wherein everything that you spend money on, put it in daily. If you buy one little Puritan road, I'm gonna put it down that, okay, I purchased this pair, I paid this amount of money, and I put it under which category I would actually take it out of. Put it there. But if you realize that, okay, these are the things that are adding up, and it's not things that I would have thought that, oh, I needed, then what you have to do is just put aside a mini allowance. So if you know that, okay, I always knick-knack on some things, put aside a mini allowance, put it in your budget, because you have to be realistic with your budget. Many times we always go over our budget is because we're not really realistic. We're gonna spend $2,500 for a restaurant. Which restaurant you go and get something for $2,500? You have to be realistic. Make sure you put in the actual amount. We should know that it may cost. And in the case where you can't afford it, don't go there. Do not go there. Do not wash no face and keep it with no Jones. Stick within your means. Okay? Take it from me. Alright. Another thing in which you can do when it is that you're trying to live with less, but you also want to maximize your income stream, especially if you're trying to clear out certain debts. If you have a habit, if you have a hobby, monetize it. Something that you're good at, something that you know that will generate income, regardless of how small it is, monetize it. So if you know that, you can comb here, you comb here good, and every now and then you kind of comb your sister here, your niece here, monetize it. Put it as a business, monetize it. And it's a case where you want to have your family have a discount, so be it. But the funny thing I'm going to tell you, when it is that you decide to add a cost to the services that you provide, you'll find that many of the people who used to get the free charges, they're not going to go for it. Take it from me. Take it from me. Remember, I told you so. But monetize any hobby that you have that will be able to generate some more income. One of the things that I have been learning is that our God has been teaching me to do. He has been helping me to detach my self-worth from things that I purchase. If we're not careful, we think that our value comes from the clothes that we wear. Our value comes from the monthly maintenance that we do. And sometimes we just do it for show. I can tell you this, that there are many influencers that are living extremely out of their means. Extremely. And they're placed in a position in which they have to be desperate because they have spent beyond what they are generating. And so because they want to make a little extra money, they hop onto everything, even things that does not align with their values. Be wise. Be wise. And everything must happen onto. And everything, detach yourself from thinking that your self-worth is in the things that you do, the place that you go, the people that you surround yourself with. If you can't keep up with the Jones, left them. Move away. Ship away. I want to fact, swim across the ocean and leave them. Comparison is our issue. We're always looking around, looking at, oh, this person just bought a new car. And what am I doing with myself? I need to buy a new car. I need to get one of those latest detour cars too. Jetour. What about detour? I don't know nothing. Jetour. You don't need to keep up with those things. Don't subscribe to the inflation. Not because your neighbor do it, means you need to do it too. Not because your co-worker purchase a new shoes and every week, every month you buy a new shoes means that you need to as well. Which leads me to my next point. There's some of us, we hold tight to those shopping accounts. We have our Shein account or Amazon account, all these accounts. But I can tell you this, that if you don't have self-control, you are going to find yourself drained. Not because an extra money is left over means that you need to spend it. Save it. Invest it. Why I think that you need to go on Shein? I'm like, oh, this cute bag. Let me get this cute bag. It'll match this outfit. Oh yeah, try please. Who you try please? These days I care very less. I don't really care. Not to say that I carry myself in any hole, but I got me a try please. Me I have nobody else to please. There's no one here on earth that I'm trying to impress. And so why should I do all these things? I have this person shall remain nameless. But ever since she put up she has a Shein account and a Temu account. And I kid you not, every time a little money comes in, she's there. Matter of fact, she looked from in advance, like, okay, more this. But do you need it? Do you need it? This is something that I practice. Like, I have an Amazon cart, and just the other day I cleared my Amazon cart, and it took me months before I did that. And I was intentional about saving, particularly for those things that I purchased. And it wasn't even things for my personal need. It was really for investment. But let it sit there. If you realize that 2 months come, 3 months come, and you don't really need it, you forgot about it, you don't need it. You put it in your cart and you just have it there, but you just forgot about it, and you didn't remember about it until you actually went to the cart and saw it. You don't need it. And so don't always just run into just spend the little money that you have. These things will keep us stuck and in cycles where we can't know where money are go. Stop. you need to stop. If you mean that, if you really want to be a good steward of the things that God have blessed you with, and want to spend wisely and to live less, you need to stop. You need to stop. Have a why before you buy. Before you buy anything, why am I purchasing this? Is it because I just want it? Is it needed? I said I'm going to do another video about how you can spend money at the supermarket. Separate from that, I'm going to do a video on that, because that's a whole other list of things to just do and not do. But make sure that you have a why. And if you can't buy it cash, just know that you can't afford it. Even you're taking out a loan. If you can't buy it cash, you really can't afford it. There are people who use credit card. I don't use credit cards. I've never owned a credit card, and I'm not going to say, oh, I'll never get a credit card, because I've always learned, I've always said this: never say never. The very thing that you say you never do, you may just find yourself doing it. But credit card keep us trapped. If you don't have self-control, you have to be disciplined to have a credit card. There was a gentleman. He took out 3 credit cards, and he used them. Just use them, because in his mind, yeah man, he's gonna get the money. He just use. And when it is that his salary did not come, he almost go crazy, because him run up the credit card, the 3 credit cards, him run them up, and then almost lose it, because the fees are coming in, the late fees are being added. He not get the salary. He didn't get the salary. And I'm looking at him and saying, never grudge somebody for what for them have. Okay, I don't know how them get it. You know who them borrow and get it. Who them borrow from. Who them, you don't know. And so many times we see these things, I'm like, oh, I like this. Stick with what you have. Stick with what you have. And I'm wrapping up. I'm coming down. I'm coming down. We all have 24 hours in a day. All of we. We find that there are some people who, it's not that they have more time, it's that they're more intentional about the things that they do, and what they spend their money on. So it's just me. I'm going to leave it here, that when it comes down to living with less, it's all about stewardship. It's all about knowing that God have given you all these things. How will you utilize the gift? How will you utilize the money? Some of us, we spend so much on things that are foolishness, and we don't even give back to God. And some of the reasons why our money can't even reach where it's supposed to reach is because we are robbing God. And so I pray that we'll remain faithful stewards of the things that God has blessed us with, the money that God has blessed us with. And if your aim in living less is to become debt free, I can do a whole another video about that. If your aim is so you can be less attached to the things of this world, because the time will come when we'll have to leave it all behind. Like Saul, like Lot's wife, she had to leave it behind. But even then, because she was so attached to the things that she had, she got lost. And so we have to decide what it is that we're going to do. What's our aim here? What's our mission? And from that, we ask God to help us, to help prune us on the way to get to the place where we can be faithful stewards of all these things. And if your intention to live less is just because you want to steward well and to live in contentment, continue doing that. And best believe that the first principle in stewardship is that if you are faithful with little, God will bless you with more. That's the first principle. I would say my principle of stewardship. Be faithful. Be faithful, because if you are not faithful, God is going to hold you accountable for that. So anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it was a blessing to you, that you learned something new, and you can tell me what it is that you're going to implement into this new week. Bye.